Eyewitness News presents Newsmakers with your hosts Jayne and Bugda and Andy Mehalshick.
Hello everyone and welcome to Newsmakers. I'm Jayne and Bugda along with Andy Mehalshick. Imagine community groups and organizations county-wide working together to make their area a nice place to visit and a great place to live. It's happening right now in Schuylkill County, and it all started with a vision. Our guests today are from Schuylkill County Vision. We will introduce you to them, and our discussion will begin when this edition of Newsmakers returns right after this. Welcome back to Newsmakers. I'm Jayne and Bugda along with Andy Mehalshick, working to create a better future for Schuylkill County. That is just one of the many goals of Schuylkill County's vision. And today we're going to learn all about the vision and all about the hard work and passion that this organization puts into its county. We are joined today by Kay Jones, who is the Executive Director of Schuylkill County's Vision, and Fredrick Hubler, who is with the Block of Art, which is one of the many partners of the Vision organization. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
I think this is a very exciting time, and I'll tell you, I think our viewers are going to be very surprised about what's going on in Schuylkill County. So let's start from the very beginning. Tell us, what is Schuylkill County's vision? When did it all begin? A little history lesson.
Schuylkill County's vision began in 1998, and it began as a process to bring together groups of people in town meetings around the county to really look at where we wanted the county to go with. And it was initially to plan a 20-year plan for the county. The process brought together a lot of people with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and they set goals and strategic objectives and came together as groups to accomplish those. So that's how we started.
So what is the mission?
The mission of Vision is really to weave together collaborations of community partnerships to bring to the resources to the table for those partnerships so that we can accomplish things that really need to be done in the county.
So you started off very small, and
Yes.
and you've really grown throughout the years. And I think for people to get a better understanding, tell us a little bit about just how big. Schuylkill County is very big and community-wise.
Yes, we're a very large county. We're 778 square miles. We have 67 municipalities in that space, but we only have about, I think, 149,000 people. So we're a very geographically spread group in Schuylkill County. So we have a lot of very small communities. We have one town, Pottsville, that is over 10,000. I live in one of the 10 largest municipalities, and we have 3,500 people in my town. So they're very, very small towns spread throughout this mountainous, large county. And I think that's part of what makes Schuylkill County so interesting.
It does have its own personality. We were
Yes.
talking before we went on air about how every county in our coverage area, so 20 counties, they do have unique personalities, which is nothing unusual. Most states have that. But I often think that they're very close. They're a very close-knit community.
Yes.
I don't want to say defensive, but very close, and it's almost like a family. I mean, 149,000 people, not a lot of people.
Right.
But they're spread out, but there's sort of a camaraderie, I think, in communities in Schuylkill County.
And your mission is to get everyone in the rest of the counties in the state and outside the state to know what's going on in Schuylkill County. Now, you have this program that you put together, and is it modeled after any type of program?
The initial program was because there was a gentleman named Henry Luke that came actually up from Florida and helped set the program up originally. We have actually in the last several years really looked hard at where we are the most effective and unique in the community. With 149,000 people, we can't have a whole lot of competition. So what we did was called strategic positioning, which means that we look for where in the community you're, like I said, doing well, but also where you are uniquely. So right now we are looking at 4 areas. We look at arts and culture, which is what Fredrick is associated with us with. Education, but a very special thing in education, we look at how we connect our kids, our young people to our communities. So that's where we are in education. Conservation, Schuylkill County's vision was the Conservation Organization of the Year in 2011. And then health. We're the State Health Improvement Plan partner for the county, and in that we're charged with certain things, such as working more on the preventative side of health and wellness. So we have those charges right now, and that's where we focus our energies.
And Fredrick, you're talking about art and the architecture in, for example, Pottsville itself, how unique it is. And many people, I'm sure, even in Schuylkill County, would be surprised to hear that it is a very unique town when it comes to the architecture.
Absolutely. I mean, when you stop and you look at Pottsville, and if you drive in on Route 61, which is the main artery that goes through, and you come in and you just see this city nestled in between the mountains and going up the mountainsides, it's very charming. When I look at Pottsville and you get downtown into the city, we have plenty of trees, we have great architecture, and even beyond all the architecture, we have the culture of the area. The culture throughout Schuylkill County is very interesting. You end up with a lot of diverse cultures still living within the community that are still there. You know, through the churches you get to experience that, and one of the things we wanted to do was make sure that people were experiencing culture through art as well. So one of our initiatives at the Block of Art, our art festival that's held every spring, is to make sure we're also introducing people to art, culture, and history, because I think they all go very well together. And once you start to learn about the art, culture, and the history, and then you take a look around Pottsville, it all starts to really make sense, and you can just really appreciate it that much more.
And while we're talking, we do have some fun facts coming up about Schuylkill County. We're showing some of the many partners that are involved in Schuylkill County Vision and the Block of Art. Let me ask, who are some of the partners that make up the vision?
We have partners on projects. I mean, we have a number of projects, major projects going on in the community, but we also have a very special set of partners, which are strategic partnerships. Some of them have actually been in effect since we started back in '98, and some of them are new. Block of Art is 6 years old. We started a new one this year, so there's 9 of them. And they're very special to us because we serve as their fiscal sponsor, which means that they basically are using our 501c3. We work very, very closely with them. They all have different needs, and they have a wide span. So we have Block of Art in Arts and Culture. We have a brand new immunization coalition. We have a diversity council in Schuylkill County, an interfaith health network. We work with diabetes, mental health, suicide prevention. There's just a whole variety of things that those partnerships accomplish for the community.
Now, when they become involved with it, when they contact you, do they have to meet a certain criteria, a group that comes in? It
usually is, the energy is usually there to form a coalition around a really important issue. Immunization became one recently because, as you're probably aware of, talk about it in the news, that there's a lot of things that are reoccurring now because people are not getting their children immunized, and there's a number of things going on in that area. So there was some concern about that, and so that became a focus, and there were a lot of people who had energy around that, so that became a strategic partnership.
And you're using the word energy, and I know we've done so many stories over the years, Jayne and I, about getting people motivated. How do you get people to say, you know what, this is a special place? We were talking about Carbon County and, you know, all the development down there near Jim Thorpe. And Pottsville, I think, is comparable to like a Carbon County, Jim Thorpe type deal. But how do you get people motivated to join in on your mission, to get on board and say, listen, I have this idea, or we have this project, how do you get them motivated?
I think the motivation is there. What I find is it's harder to sustain the motivation. You know, so you get people with a spark and an idea, and they really want to do something that they have this vision for, and they start like Block of Art, and they start to pull other people around that vision. The thing is the long run, and I think that's where vision really helps, because what we'll do is we'll support them. Once the idea is presented, it's accepted by the board, and we form a strategic partnership, Vision, it kind of walks alongside. We never really direct, but we walk alongside these partnerships because we know they have value for the community, so they can sustain themselves.
Absolutely. I could tell you my my skill set that when I first started working with the Block of Art and the skill set that I possess now has changed, of course, for the better, given the resources that Schuylkill County Vision provides us. And I couldn't encourage people more than to want to get involved with the partnerships with Schuylkill County Vision. The gift is mine, and it's just really, I feel that I'm the one that's been blessed through this whole process of being able to have in my community an organization that helps foster something that just might start as an idea up here in your head, and look at it from all the way around and provide you with the resources and the skills to develop that. That's the most important thing. It's, you know, it's made the journey a lot more sweeter, I guess is really what I'd like to say.
And fun.
And I remember when Fredrick started Block of Art, it was very small. So
Yes.
tell us, first of all, tell us about Block of Art and then how it's grown through the years through the guise of the Schuylkill County
Block
Vision.
of Art started 6 years ago with a group of artists sitting around a table and saying, you know, it's a shame there's no arts downtown. We really, you know, really should change that. So they turned around and they organized their first event. And their first event consisted of 30 artists, 300 people, and it was just, you know, in one city block, hence the Block of Art. We got the library involved. We got a property owner who had a store. He got involved. So we started taking over these historic structures and repurposing space in order to become art galleries for a weekend. And since then it has grown. I mean, we have usually anywhere between 14, 15 different venues. Our Historical Society is a concurrent event that occurs every year. They always have art, culture, and history. They have said to us that's their largest attendance all year long is during the Block of Art. And people, we get to share not only just the artists that continue to just crawl out of the woodwork in Schuylkill County, but also the culture and the history. And we've been attracting more and more people from several different zip codes. We had 68 zip codes, I want to say, the last time we looked in attendance. We do assessment forms where they share their information with us for as far as where they're from and how they heard about us. And it's really interesting to look at those facts. They're cold, hard facts that help us drive towards the direction and the goals in which we need. And again, that's another resource that was, you know, helped provided by Vision, was knowing to gather that information, to look where to spend marketing dollars and how to present yourself for as far as, you know, dealing with schools. And, you know, we're now going to hopefully be inviting colleges with strong art programs to have student shows involved. And we really want to make this into a destination event in the long run. And again, it's all about resources, having the skill set to go out and really do that and start to build that foundation where we'll continue to just grow.
And you talk about the location of Schuylkill County.
Yes.
With 81, and especially 81 and 61.
Yes.
They're major. Everyone talks about 80 and 81, but how about 61 and 81? I mean, they're major thoroughfares. I mean, 61 is as busy as any highway in the state.
Exactly. Exactly.
You also work with the diversity
Yes.
committee. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Diversity Council is really focused on trying to do projects that help people understand each other. And we recently did one this spring. I'm thinking which. So we did one this spring where we had a scholar come up from Georgetown University who was an Islamic scholar, and she did a whole day's program on Islam. We had over 50 people attend it, incredibly good reviews for that. So we're going to be doing one this fall, hopefully on Buddhism, and then our next one will be on Sikhism. It's interesting that within our very small county, we have a Hindu temple, we have a Sikh temple that's just over the border in the next county. We have a very active Islamic group. We have a lot of faith groups that we need to appreciate. So we're spending our time right now working with that, and it's been very well received.
And you also do something interesting called Schuylkill County on the Move.
Yes, yes.
Tell us about that. That's a fun program.
We do a number of projects. We're doing like 4 or 5 major projects right now. This one was an awful lot of fun. We wanted to do something to start to address childhood obesity in the county, which is an issue for every county, not just Schuylkill. And so we wanted to make it as fun as we could. So we started off, we printed 12,000 copies of this booklet, which was done by Porcupine Pat, who was a legend in our community, which is another whole show. And the book is all about Schuylkill County and what children can go and do with their families in Schuylkill County. So we printed 12,000, so everybody in the county pre-K to 6th grade got a copy. All the school districts worked with us. And then we referred them to go to their libraries. All the libraries in the county cooperated with us. And we had the kids go and they picked up packets. This was part of what was in the packet. They were starter packets. And what it was they were to keep a log and they were to record whether they ate 5 fruits and vegetables, portions of them, and whether they played outside for an hour, which is remarkable. We have to encourage children to do that.
We were kicked out of the house growing up.
Exactly. But to get outside and play for an hour every day. And they had a little log and they had little stickers to do that. Now we're in the part of collecting those logs. And when the kids come to the libraries with their logs, they get their backpack and it's filled with school supplies.
Oh, what a wonderful program.
Absolutely. And it's been really well received. Parents love it. The kids love it. The libraries loved it. Got more people into the libraries. And we're making Schuylkill County
And you're
healthier.
making an impression on young people.
Yes.
We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Schuylkill County's vision. You can check out our details from today's show on pahomepage.com under the Newsmakers link. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Newsmakers. Jayne and Bugda along with Andy Mehalshick. We are joined by Kay Jones and Fredrick Hubler. They're representing Schuylkill County Vision and the Block of Art. And wonderful programs, a lot going on in Schuylkill County. How is Vision funded?
Vision was funded very generously through a grant by, that was gotten for us by Senator Rhodes for the last 5 years. And as a matter of fact, that funding is coming to an end. We work through grants. We have wonderful partners. This program we were just talking about, the Healthy Schuylkill Summer, Walmart was a partner with that. And we're going to be seeking more partnerships like that as we go forward. So we're funded through grants. We're funded through the generosity of the people of Schuylkill County too, because we have donations.
How vital, you're talking about cooperation before, to get the school districts on board.
Yes.
I didn't want to let that get by there. That's got to be a major deal, because that you're talking thousands upon thousands of kids and families, and that's right where you want to hit them. Right.
We have remarkable school districts in Schuylkill County, and I know a number of the superintendents personally. They are so sincerely focused on the health and the well-being of those children. Is amazing. So when we came to them with this idea and this program, we had no obstacles really to cross. It was really talking to them about approving it and then having information about distribution points. It was very, very easy. I'm always impressed when we go to talk to the superintendents.
You know, getting everyone together on the same page is difficult, you know, in your community. And sometimes, and I think it's even in our area, we have sometimes a bad perception of ourselves. Mm-hmm. What is the perception of Schuylkill County, and how do you hope to change that?
I have to confess, I'm not a native-born Schuylkill Countian. I was raised in New Jersey, which I find in Pennsylvania most people go, oh, but you're a nice person. But
and a good driver.
And a good driver. But we moved to Schuylkill County back in the 70s and just fell in love with it. So I don't come with those ideas about Schuylkill County. I'm always amazed at how beautiful it is. We're 71% in forest. I kayak and hike. It's like paradise. I do find that there are people that, I was working with youth today, and we're doing a project in Schuylkill County. Commissioner Hess and the other commissioners are putting together a youth conference in the spring. So we were talking to students and we were asking them some of their perceptions, and they were saying students talk about wanting to leave. And I thought, I grew up right outside of New York City, which is like the hub of the universe. Mm-hmm. And the kids said the same thing where I was raised.
Oh, you know? so they say it everywhere.
They say it everywhere.
Yes.
So that's part of the attitude.
So how do we keep our young people here?
What we're going to be doing over the next couple of months, and especially in the spring at this conference, is we're going to be asking those questions. What is it that would encourage young people and families to stay in Schuylkill County? And we've already started to talk to kids about that. I think that lots of times adults assume that they know the answers to those questions, and we don't. So what we're going to be doing is exploring that. And then what we're also going to be doing is having a lot of our organizations in the county, from businesses to all different kinds of organizations, start to serve as mentors to groups of students so that they can make actual changes in their communities in the ways that they're telling us they need to be changed.
Now, I would imagine one of the challenges of keeping the youth here is also economic factors
Absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely.
And educational, because they have to go away to school.
Right.
There are no colleges in Schuylkill County, correct? I mean,
we have
four-year
Penn
schools.
State, which
Penn
is
State.
Penn State Schuylkill, and that's a
Right.
4-year campus.
Right.
I think that L-Tri-C is working toward that. So
Right.
we do have some opportunities, educational opportunities.
So someone might be sitting at home and say, boy, I want to get involved. What should they do?
First thing is go check our website, which is www.schuylkillvision.com. Go see what's there. That website is really a portal to Schuylkill County. There's some really neat things on that website. When we're presenting information, we're trying to do that in an interesting way. So we had somebody go and take pictures of all 67 municipalities. So you can go look at every municipality and see pictures. You can call us at 570-622-6097. We'd be happy to talk to anybody. As a matter of fact, one of the things that happens routinely every day is that people are calling us and we're making connections constantly for people. And if you would like to join a strategic partnership, all of them are wide open. None of these are closed groups. You can become part of a project, and certainly you can donate. You can certainly use the resources.
And we have all that information linked up to our website as well on pahomepage.com. Rick, how does the Block of Art work with other partners in the area?
The way we work is we started out with the Block of Art by just having the 3 spaces as a gallery space, and as people saw what was happening, they were, I think, a little bit more easily persuaded to get involved because they saw that, again, you were talking about perception. Perception is, oh, there is no art in Schuylkill County, it doesn't exist and people don't care. Wrong. They do care, and we see that every single year, and we see how arts can work as an economic driver in revitalizing downtowns. If you look at Lancaster alone, they are a phenomenal model for it. If you've not been to downtown Lancaster and you go downtown, you'll see they have a vibrant downtown, and that was due to using arts as an economic driver. And our relationship has worked out as a win-win situation. We have restaurants that have gallery shows, and it's their largest day of sales in food for them all year round, or all year long. And to make that happen, that's special. That's what the community really needs, is to be lifted up. And the perception in the area is that you have to leave the area. I don't think you have to leave the area. I think Schuylkill County is still a place where you just have to turn a couple more rocks over to find it. It's all there. It's incredible, having lived away out of the area for 17 years in some pretty amazing locations where everything's going on. And coming back home, I see it with a different set of eyes, and I'm charmed by it, as I never was when I was young. I was one of those kids, I want to get away, and I did get away, and I came back and I realized that it was right there in front of me the whole time. You just sometimes neglect to actually recognize that. And I think that that's the charm in Schuylkill County, is the fact that we have so much going on there, and the Block of Art just continues to grow, and we've grown now into a second event.
I was going to ask you about this, and you're going to have to say it for me because I've been practicing all day.
Chris Kindlemart.
Okay.
Chris Kindlemart. We started at the historic England Mansion, which so happens to be a German Tudor mansion, and the event has grown incredibly over the past 3 years. We're going into our 4th year, and it's just droves of people 2 days long, and it's just a great way to keep your tax dollars in the area, support local artists, and shop for Christmas. I mean, it really is a win-win situation.
And it's in December?
First weekend in December. Block of Art is always held 3rd weekend in April. And you could go to our website, block-of-art.com, and find us there.
And it's on our website as well, as is all of your partners will be on our website, so they can tune into what's going on.
And Fredrick, you might be onto something, because when you think about even like downtown Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, the Fine Arts Fiesta, State College, they all started off very small, like, well, a few people will drop by, but they have exploded.
Yes.
Bloomsburg has one also, where it's become an event, a destination just for that event. But once people get to downtown, they realize there's other great things going on.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You have to take it and you have to package all of it. Yeah. If you don't umbrella things under one roof and really make sure that everyone wins, it doesn't grow as fast. I think the best way to grow your events in your downtowns is definitely to be inclusive and to support one another. That's key.
I think your group is very, very unique in what you do. And I'm wondering, we have a little under 2 minutes left. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see us continuing to do a lot of what we're doing and building more strategic partnerships. I think that we are kind of positioning ourselves right now to take on some larger issues. We started with childhood obesity with one project this summer. I think we're going to be moving more seriously into those areas. We're working with the Commonwealth Medical College right now and 45 other partners in the community to try to establish a federally qualified health center for Schuylkill County. That takes a number of years to do. So hopefully in 5 years we'll have a federally qualified health center that's up and running and serving the people of the county. Hopefully we'll continue with all of our groups like Block of Art, and that will expand.
We are actually spending this year incorporating ourselves as well. So that's a step in the right direction as well.
So more of the same, but also some realization of some of these big projects.
So I want to remind everyone that the information they heard today about Schuylkill County's vision is on our website at pahomepage.com under the Newsmakers link. We have all your numbers, all their websites of their partners linked up so they can take another look and experience Schuylkill County not only for its culture, its arts, its recreation, its health, and its beauty. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you
very
for having
much.
us.
So for Kate and Rick, thank you so much for being here. For everyone behind the scenes and Andy Mehalshick, I'm Jayne Bugda. We want to thank you for making Newsmakers part of your day, and we'll talk again next time. Check us out at pahomepage.com.